At what point do these kind of bite you? What do I mean by that? What point are you captured? And I think actually in kind of fairness to the government, I think what I liked seeing here is a little bit of realism in how letting agencies work and how in practice they can kind of mitigate some of the change on you guys. And I think when I say that, what I mean is, and hopefully it'll become clear, for a prospective landlord, reporting obligations begin as soon as a landlord instructs you as the agent. For a prospective tenant, when you're working on behalf of a landlord and not the tenant directly, reporting is only required after that offer is accepted. And I think this is where I mentioned the realism part. If you think about how many tenants could be possible, or how many people kind of walk in if you've still got that traditional office door, having seen the poster in the window advertisement, or chat to you via after they've seen something advertised on the internet, it doesn't bite then. It's only when that's more formalized and that tenant has basically been the chosen one. I don't know that's probably not a technical term, but hopefully that makes sense. For for prospective tenants, it's a little bit different. So if you're working for the tenant rather than the landlord, um, reporting obligations start again once an offer is accepted and that the parties are concluding that agreement. And where you're working for a tenant and you're trying to seek out a property, so maybe a property is not being identified yet, it begins again once that offer's accepted and the parties are finalizing that agreement. And it's that when it bites, okay? So I think from a practical perspective, hopefully that gives you a little bit of comfort in how and when you're going to kind of need to be doing the sanctions check itself in a practical sense and a practical terms. And hopefully that maybe helps alleviate maybe some of that fear that you're going to have to do everybody that walks through the door or every possible tenant that makes kind of a possible tenant that makes an inquiry. Um, these varying obligations try to take into account the high volume, like I say, of prospective tenants that maybe you might encounter while working for that landlord as